It's great to be here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles, in our digital space. Hope you all are staying out of the wind. But just wanted to kick off the service this morning with some good vibes. This song is called Have It All. May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in being generous, sharing what you have, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. And may you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. Here's to the lives that you're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. Want you to have it all. Oh, want you to have it all. Want you to have it. Want you to have it all. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. May you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. May the rest of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. And here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. Want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. Want you to have it. Want you to have it all. Said, want you to have it. Want you to have it all. Want you to have it all.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, James. What a wonderful way to welcome us into our virtual space here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and it's my honor and pleasure to be with you here on this, what is a sunny, bright Southern California day on May 1st in the year 2022. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service. I know that wherever you are right now, and know that you know for yourself that wherever you are right now, the divine exists. It's doing its thing with glory and magnificence and power. And the presence itself is making itself known to you, through you, as you. And we are each blessed to be able to share and witness that experience today and be the recipient of the good that is you, that is making itself known to each and every one of us in new and wondrous ways today. So welcome to our Sunday morning celebration, whether you're joining us live through Zoom and or Facebook, or at a later date through our YouTube channel. Know that we affirm for each and every one of you where you are exactly in this moment today. As I said a moment before, is where you're supposed to be. And so let's move into our service today as I throw onto our screen, well, I don't throw it, but I'm placing onto our screen our, I just hit the wrong button there, that I place onto our screen the slide to get us going. So I'm glad to have you with us all here today as we come together and honor each other in a new way, to live in the state of celebration, of experiencing life, of turning into a new way. Yes, I'll be happy to turn my volume up, Wendy. Thank you. My microphone, external microphone, was not working well. It had an undertone to it, so we're using the audio mic. So thank you all for the instructions for helping with that, and anything else that we may need some guidance on audio wise. Please know that we're welcome to receive that today. Oh, happy day! It says on our screen. And let's all choose to know that today is indeed a happy day. Happiness is a result of our choosing to live in a state of joy, which I'm going to speak of later today. And so as we live in this state of joy, we have the opportunity to emanate and express the power of the divine that is within us, as I said earlier. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teachings of the Science of Mind, which we study here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, says that love is the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. And the only way that it can do that is through you and through me. And so let's know today that as we come together in this space, welcoming all races, all ethnicities, all religions, all countries of origin, all gender identities, all sexual orientations, all abilities and disabilities, and all spoken languages, in fact, all ages, all expressions of life, that we welcome you into this virtual space, as well as our physical space when we're there in person, as we were recently and will be again very soon. You'll hear more about that later today. But know that we welcome you and honor you just as you are as a divine being. And so as our founding minister, the one and only beloved Reverend Dr. David Walker used to say each and every Sunday morning, and I invite you to say it along with me, we welcome one, and we welcome all. And so we're a community that has been coming together for well over 30 plus years now here in the city of Los Angeles. And we focus on teaching primarily the science of mind. It's a philosophy of faith, the way of life. That's a book, if you will, that is a compilation of all of the great spiritual teachings and philosophies at the time related to spirituality. That was compiled and put together by Dr. Ernest Holmes and published in 1926. The essence of this philosophy, faith, and way of life is there's only one thing taking place in life. It's the activity of the divine, the source itself. That thing that does its thing unabashedly and untethered by means of each one of us. It's called life. And we get to experience life to the degree that we express the thing itself. This matters because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, meaning that the very things that we give, express, emanate, and choose to be returns to us in form. And so we're called in life itself to practice becoming more tuned in to our thinking, our actions, our reactions, and our interactions with that thing itself. And in so doing, should we choose to participate in it at a higher level, thought by thought, action by action, reaction by reaction, life indeed gets better. The vision statement for our community is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And so today, as we move into our celebration service together, I invite each and every one of you to open to a great spiritual awakening to an acceptance and an awareness of the power that is present within each and every one of us. And as a result of that, and understanding the role that we play in the co-creative process of life, we each become more personally self-empowered. What a great way to live life, huh? A great way to live life, to know that you're a conscious participant in creating that which is unfolding before you, through you, and as you. Our opening ritual, which we've done now for several years, and we're going to shift out of it into something new as we did in person recently, but it's one that we're using online now, is called Calling in the Light. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The purpose of this is to gather into our awareness, gather into our gathering a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so as we feel the vibrations shift throughout this experience and we light this virtual candle, let's each make a commitment to be open to tuning in to the light of life in a new way. The quality of the divine that we use in our ritual right now is peace. P-E-A-C-E. Purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. As we look onto our screen and light a candle, leaning into the ancestral prayer in just a moment, let's remember that P stands for purposeful, which is defined as having or showing determination or resolve. May we each live our spiritual awakening with resolve as we play a role in the co-creation of our lives through mental and emotional actions. E in this acronym stands for energy. In the book, The Science of Mind, Dr. Holmes defines energy as a divine and unfailing attribute, and consequently there's never any lack of it. And so today, may we each commit to using our energy in productive and life-enhancing ways. A stands for activates, which is defined as the action or process of making something active or operative. Today, may we each consciously make active our thoughts, actions, reactions, and interactions in and as life, reflecting the innate peace within all beings. C stands for conscious. Synonyms for the words conscious are awake, aware, alert, responsive, and sentient. Awake, aware, alert, responsive, and sentient. In this moment, may we each tune into our ability to be aware and commit to living our life awake and alert to our ability to impact the world and consciously invoke peace with every thought and action. E stands for the word evolution. Dr. Holmes defines evolution as the passing of spirit into form. Traditionally, it's defined as a process of gradual, peaceful, progressive change or development. Today, I affirm for each of us, a result of finding our personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that there is progressive changes and developments manifesting in and as all as spirit becomes form in our life. In the closing of this piece of our ritual, P-I-E-C-E, not P-E-A-C-E, let's virtually light a healing candle. I ask you to take a moment and think of anyone that you'd like to silently put into the light of the healing flame so as to experience the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. I'd like for us to bring into this light the family of our beloved Reverend Lenore Edney, as her brother passed away 2 nights ago. And please feel free to bring into your mind anyone else that you would like to experience the healing light of the eternal flame. Continuing into our ritual, we're going to sing the song Calling in the Light. The lyrics will be on the screen and James will come on the screen. James will share with us from an audio perspective the song. Feel free to sing along. I know he'll be right there as we're working through some technical challenges. And so the song is, I am love, I am peace, in my heart I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, altogether we are whole. And so I invite you all to say that along with me as we call in the light. I am love. I am peace. I am in my heart. I am free. I am spirit. I am soul. All together, we are whole. And so, let's affirm together that all is indeed well, that Spirit is making itself known by means of each one of us today, that we trust the process, that good is making itself known to us in a new way, that peace is present for us, and we lean into anything that's considered a technical difficulty, knowing that it's just an opportunity to anchor ourselves more and more and more into the divine, just as we are. We let it be, as we say together, and so it is. So I do know that James is going to be able to come onto the screen and sing our first guest artist song. And so he's going to do that in just a moment. As you heard, he's having some technical challenges right now, but he'll be with us in just a moment. And once again, a big hello to all of you, and thank you for being here today as we navigate the fun challenges of being back online. And so that's where we're at. And so here he goes.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in this world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. There is still a chance that they will see, yeah. See until tomorrow, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Won't you shine until tomorrow, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Thank you, James. I love that song. It just gives us such instruction in life to remember to take a deep breath in and be present and to let it be, just as the lyrics says, to just let it be. We're in a new month, the month of May, and so we kick off some new ways of looking at things today. I'd like to start this morning's message by sharing with you an article that I wrote for our electronic newsletter quite some time ago. And I love the meaning of this, and here we go. The world of social media has changed how information is shared on a daily basis. On many levels, I mourn the handwritten word and going to the mailbox for that unexpected card. Even with that said, I do love reading the myriad and diverse posts by my friends and others on the social networking website, Facebook. The other morning, as I turned on my computer, logged on to Facebook, this post appeared on my wall. Life would be a million times better if there were piñatas strategically placed throughout your day. Now, this sentiment makes me smile as I'm typing it, as I'm sure it does for you as you're hearing this. And of course, it conjures up wonderful visions for each of us. Imagine maneuvering through your day, and maybe on the hour, you get to reach up and pop a piñata. They could be donkeys, dollar signs, big red hearts, little fat pigs, monkeys, birds, cats, cars, etc. You get the picture. As you move through your day, each and every one of us, great things would rain down upon us, bringing us great joy. Now, of course, if this physical piñata were a part of our everyday life, after a while, it could potentially it could become monotonous. The spiritual truth is we have a virtual piñata over our heads always. And we can reach up by reaching within, causing the qualities of the divine to reign on our lives. As Joel Osteen would say, God is waiting to shower blessings upon us. All that is required of us is to reach beyond our current conditions and state of mind and accept these blessings. I invite you to hear this anew as I repeat this statement by Joel Osteen, remembering that the God is the power of life, the source of creation, and it's how you innately define it. This power is waiting to shower blessings upon us. All that is required of us is to reach beyond our current conditions and state of mind and accept these blessings. Joy is a quality of the divine. We've heard it many, many, many times, as is peace and power, beauty, joy, light, life, and love. Each and every one of these states of being are waiting our recognition of them in all aspects of our lives. For you and I to experience more of these qualities, it's up to us to express them. There are as many ways to do this as there are stars in the sky, or drops in the ocean, or cells in our body. The qualities of the divine are by their very nature infinite. Dr. Holmes, the founder of the teachings of the science of mind, defines joy as the emotion excited by the expectancy of good. The emotion excited by the expectancy of good. This expectancy can only be experienced when we open ourselves to our good in all areas of our lives. Recently, I created the acronym for joy. Just open yourself. You can see how long ago this was. As we move forward on our spiritual journey, let's let the instruction, just open yourself, be the way in which we approach life. Let's open ourselves to greater joy, more good, expanded self-love, a more committed spiritual practice, and a conscious pledge to give more. In so doing, we will align ourselves with our divine nature. Dr. Holmes is reminding us in this quote that we must expect our good before we can experience it. We must create the template in mind of that which we wish to experience. So if it's good that we desire, we have to create space for good and then expect it. And the same goes for love, peace, harmony, beauty, etc. The list goes on and on and on. So today, I conclude in this newsletter article, I know for you as I know for me, our lives are getting better and better, not because we have physical piñatas over our head, but because we have a deeper awareness in our hearts of the infinite nature of spirit and our recognition of it at work in our lives. So let's consciously use that which we are to magnify the good in our universe. We do this by opening ourselves to the joy that is us. We can start right where we are by simply stopping and owning our joy. Are you ready to open your joy in a new way, to own it, to expect it, and then to experience? I thought this newsletter is a perfect segue into the new theme that we have as we kick off the month of May for 2022. Drum roll, please. It is pray, play, and slay. I'll repeat that for you. Pray, play, and slay. Now you all might think, what the hell does that mean? Well, pray, play, and slay is what we're being invited to use as a mantra to have as a way of life. Let's break it down, because as we move through this month, we're going to look at the actions of praying, playing, and slaying in life itself. If we look at the word prayer or pray, in its traditional sense, it's a solemn request for help or an expression of thanks addressed to God, typically an outer power or an object of worship. It's an earnest hope or wish. But in metaphysics and New Thought, we don't really look at it as a supplication or a desire solely to experience it. We look at it more in this new definition I found for a prayer, which I really love and I think speaks to what we do. Prayer is an invocation or an act that seeks to activate a rapport with an object of worship through deliberate communication. I'm going to read that again because I think it really ties into how we look at prayer from a New Thought perspective of from a place of, I just went completely blank on the word I was looking for. When it's an act of affirmation, not supplimation, an act of declaration, not one of hope or willing or an expression of asking for help. Prayer is an invocation or act that seeks to activate a rapport with an object of worship through deliberate communication. The object of worship in this case would be our mind, our self, the thing itself, not as an external, but as an internal power that is the power of life itself. Pray, play, and slay. Well, what is play? Well, in the traditional sense, play, a verb, of course, means to engage in activity for enjoyment and recreation rather than a serious or practical purpose. It's also to amuse oneself by engaging in an imaginative pretense. I say let's put that together and look at it as to play in this context is an activity for enjoyment and recreation by using our imagination. Now take that in a new way right now. Open yourself up. Remember, just open yourself. To be willing to pray and then play through the actions of an activity for enjoyment and recreation by using our imagination. Stepping into this invocation or act and seeking a rapport, a connection with the object, the mind itself, through deliberate communication, and doing that as an activity for enjoyment and a recreation using your imagination. Well, I truly believe that if we begin to do that in a more conscious and deliberate and enjoyable and fun way, of course, we're going to slay it. Now, slay, in its traditional sense, means to kill something, right? And I know that that doesn't seem life affirming. But let's use the word slay here in its modern day slang terminology, which means to do something and do it well. Girl, she slayed that lip sync. Or, ooh, he slayed that work performance. Or, ooh, he slayed that song. It means to kill it, in essence, to do the best that you could, and that you do something and do it well. So, what we're being called for during this month as we activate ourselves into a more conscious rapport with the thing itself and doing it through a deliberate opening to enjoyment would be then to do it and do it as well as we can. To choose to begin to live our life from a spiritual practice of praying, playing, and slaying, girl. Are you ready? Are you willing? Can you do that? Can you let go of what was and be open to looking at life and your engagement and participation in it in a new way? What this commitment, this mantra of praying, playing, and slaying is calling us to be alive, to be active, to be engaged in our life in the way that life shows up to us and through us. These activities are inviting us to indeed have a new thought around all facets and aspects of our life. It's inviting us to be engaged in joy, not just as an experience of the quality of the divine, but to be engaged in the act of just opening yourself to that which is new. It's inviting us to use our minds today more consciously and to co-create something new in a way that we haven't done before by once again letting go of what was. And more importantly, what it's inviting us to do is to have fun on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, of choosing to let the joy be present in our life and to let it out, baby, let it out, let it out. And to really begin to think in new ways for ourselves personally, emotionally, culturally, of how we can begin to grow into a greater expression of ourselves. I know that our board of trustees has been looking at doing that, and you'll hear about that more of how can we begin to approach the evolution of this community in a way that grows for all of us and is self-sustaining and is a new way of thinking. Today, I invite us all to open ourselves up to imagining something in our life that if we were to look back on it 1 year from now, we could look at it and then say, wow, I can't believe I began to think in a new way. I can't believe that I did this. I experienced this new idea, that I am living this new vision out in reality. Give yourself permission to do that, and then let's all begin to look at that through the act of prayer being the first steps. Now, I'm going to remind us today of the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment, the tool that Dr. Ernest Holmes designed for us to use in this philosophy, faith, and way of life, and to remind you that it is just that. It is a tool. It's a guidepost as a guide of how to begin to program and reprogram our minds in a way to reflect our divinity, not from the perspective of letting some outside source take control over our mind. Quite the opposite. It's done for the purpose of so that we can engage our mind, to awaken our mind to our divine nature, and to let that divine nature guide us into this experience and expression of the very things that we're desiring to experience and express, that when we step and look back a year from now, we're like, yep, that was the new thought. So let's remember that these 5 steps, in as much as they are set up in numerical order, are not required of us to use them in numerical order. Once again, they're a guidepost for the development of consciousness so that you can develop the idea of the very thing you desire to express and then be cognitively and consciously secure enough to release it to the universe so that the law of life may do its creative part and bring it back to you in form. The first is recognition. In this step, we recognize that the power of life is all it is. We can state in this step in any way that feels good to you, but it would be things such as source, the thing itself, God, life is all there is. There's one perfect intelligence that is on purpose and creates every single thing, even that thing we want to know that we'd have a year from now, out of itself. The second step is unification. In this second step, we unify our consciousness with this perfect intelligence. It is I am is the most simple way to approach that. In this writing about spiritual mind treatment, it says that we can use words such as because God, the thing itself, source, life, is all there is. Therefore, it is in and as me, with me, around me, and working through me right now. I accept that and let it be. Step 3 is realization. It's about declaring the very thing that we desire to develop our mindset around. It's expressed in the present, the current tense, with knowledge and an understanding that the very thing that we desire to experience already exists in and as this mind, this power, this totality, this infinite thing that is the creation of all. And so therefore we affirm an experience of it as an in an as if state of mind. In this writing, it addresses it in this way. Because I know my thoughts co-create my reality, I carefully monitor and choose what I'm thinking. I think and allow only life-affirming thoughts to pass through my consciousness. I refuse to dwell on any negative thoughts and focus only on the highest and best ideas for my life. I realize right now the truth of my greatest good. Other ways to do that would be the very thing that I desire to experience, which is completeness and wholeness and a connection with all that I have and am in life, is here for me right now. And so as I move through my daily activities in life, I choose to pray in an affirmative, spontaneous manner. I choose to play and be engaged with life in an enjoyable manner. My rapport with myself is healthy and life-affirming and productive. And as a result of this state of mind that I allow and consciously intend to be in my life, I slay. I do it and I do it well, which then moves us to the 4th step, which is gratitude or thanksgiving. In this step, we thank the power of life itself for its existence and for its power in doing its part. Words such as I am thankful and grateful for the creative power of life and the law, the principle that is at work in my life, and for this knowledge that has been revealed to me and through me. I let it be, which then moves us to the 5th and final step, which is to release, to let go. Once we've developed this mindset, once we've identified with the power, once that we know that it's there, once that we are in gratitude, and the reason we're in gratitude is because we know it's one of the most transformative qualities, therefore transformative states of mind, we release to the impersonal law of life, knowing that it's always bringing back to us, through us, an experience that is reflective of our state of being. And so language such as this would be, I release this spiritual mind treatment, this prayer, this state of consciousness development out into the universe, knowing that as I speak my word, it's already happening, showing up in form back in my life as my greater good, and I accept it and experience it right now. The key to living in a state of play, and slay is to know that there is that power within that is guiding us. It's to know that you have within you the power that is considered and addressed in step 1. Dr. Holmes tells us from lectures that he gave in Beverly Hills many years ago, since he passed away in the 60s, that we should lean into that knowing that exists within us and allow it to make itself known. He says incarnated within each one of us is not only a divine spark, not only an incarnation of the living spirit of the cosmos, but a unique presentation of the cosmic whole. If we can judge the unknown by the known. I'm going to read that again. Incarnated within each one of us is not only a divine spark, not only an incarnation of the living spirit of the cosmos, but a unique presentation of the cosmic whole. If we can judge the unknown by the known, we have nothing to disprove and everything to prove that this individuation of the spirit in each one of us, rooted in common soil, having the characteristics and potentialities of its common background, contains what the ancients called the microcosm. We have every reason to suppose that there is, back of and within and around every individual, the divine representation of themselves as the son or daughter or child of God, forever expanding. That the universe is alive and awake and aware. It's an interesting thing that all the great intuitions of the ages are gradually being verified by the investigations of modern science. The nature of the physical universe has been known intuitively from time immemorial. But that which anciently was conceived by the intuition, which went in the front door of the spirit by a natural and logical affinity, is in our day and generation generally being reproven by the inductive method of science, which goes in the back door of the spirit, but which, when it gets into the living room, sees the same furniture. What Holmes is telling us here is that within this divine spark that exists within us, there's a guide, there's an energy, there's a voice, if we were to listen to it. And so as we commit today, as we kick off this month of May, to pray, to play, and to slay, to open ourselves up on this journey of fun, to let our intuition's divine spark within us guide us, and to know that there's nothing within us we have to disprove, but accept the invitation and the challenge to prove more and more, day by day, pray by pray, play by play, slay by slay, that the presence is infinite by nature. Let our intuition guide us. It's there, we know it is. It's a feeling, it's a belief, it's a sense of knowing that we experience often in life, but sometimes it doesn't seem rational. It's when that hummingbird shows up at the least moment. It's when you hear a whispering of the wind moving by your ear. It's usually something that may come from your gut, your heart, or deep down inside you that you can't quite pinpoint, but it feels so right. You can't explain it. It isn't logical, but you just know, and you know that you know. Intuition, it's not thinking, it's receiving. Albert Einstein tells us the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Today, I am inviting and encouraging each and every one of us to step into the new activity of praying, playing, and slaying, baby, by not just using our rational mind, but by allowing our intuitive mind to guide us into greater expressions. Ernest Holmes says that intuition is God. It's the power. It's the thing itself in the human, revealing to them the realities of being. So just as instinct guides the animal, so would intuition guide the human if they would allow it to operate through them. To remember the only ability to know with any process of reasoning. God knows only intuitively. And so today, you and I are called to open ourselves, to begin to navigate life, imagining, maybe in the beginning, that everywhere we look, hidden, but ready to show up, are pinatas of good, waiting to be explored. Just as if we were playing a video game on our phone, that we get to move the toggle and ping, open our good. Ping, open our good. Ping, open our good. And we do that not by solely looking outside, but by turning inward and allowing our personal GPS to guide us. And that indeed is our intuition. And so as we kick off this month of May, let's remember that we're here to pray, to play, and to slay. And to know that yes, there may be moments when we feel obstacles in our way, but allow ourselves to dissolve them. Dr. Jim Lockard tells us this in regards to obstacles through his blog, The New Thought Evolutionary, that the common answer in New Thought circles to the question, what's the physical obstacle to spiritual growth, is myself. However, while that is true, it's also the answer to the question, what is my biggest asset in seeking spiritual growth? The self is the vehicle for all development or the lack thereof. So we need to be a bit more specific in answering the question, what's the biggest obstacle to my spiritual growth? He goes on to say, I usually respond to the question about the biggest obstacle with this answer. Comfort is the greatest obstacle. It's our desire to be comfortable that often keeps us in place, even when we are not happy in our current state of being. Comfort is a sense of being minimally challenged. When we face the discomfort of changing, we too often sink into resistance, even though we may realize that growth lies at the other side of the period of discomfort. Today, we're being called as individuals, as a community, to move to the other side of discomfort. We're being called to move beyond what has been the comfort of our spiritual growth over the years. The question is, are we willing to pray into it, to play into it, and to slay it the best we can so that we give birth to that which is new in our life? I say let's saddle up, enjoy the ride, seek the pinatas, and allow the good to rain down through us and for us. For the truth is, it is us. Thank you so very much. What a pleasure to be here today. And let's get excited about what is to come in our life. James is going to come back and sing a song for us to take us on that journey. What a great Sunday and Monday and days and week we have ahead before us. Mr. Harper, are you ready?
If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, I'm calling every man. We're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, searched for a melody, searched for someone to lead. We've been looking for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say, if you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and sing it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow starting loud, loud, loud. promises. No more Cold War, unless it's love and peace that we're really fighting for. We can destroy hunger, we can conquer hate. Put down the arms and raise your voice. We're joining hands today. We've been looking for a song to sing in our search for a leader, but the leader was me. We've been looking for the world to change it, and we can be heroes. Just go on and say if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. And I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and sing it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now, yeah. Now. Oh, now. If you're ready, we can shake the world. Believe again, and it starts within. And we don't have to wait for destiny. We should be the change that we want to see. Oh, 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 oh. If you're out there and you're ready now, sing it loud, scream it out. If you're out there, won't you sing along with me? If you're out there, and I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and sing it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Loud, loud. Oh, loud, loud. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, we're calling every woman, we're calling every man. We're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late.
Oh, touches my soul, as I know it does for each and every one of you. Just so beautiful. Thank you, James. Thank you so very, very much. So now is the time in our service where we have the opportunity to support our community financially. I'm going to put on the screen the way to do that, and know that we appreciate your support and engage each and every one of us in being conscious participants in conscious giving, so that we may continue to express and share this ministry with each other and the world itself. On the screen is the way to do that. It's go to our website, CSL-LA.org, and click on Donate. You can go to the app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and click on the upper left bars. The screen will come up, and you'll see Donate tab there. You can mail in a check. Our address is 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038. Or you can call me directly, as my phone number is on the screen, and I can handle it privately. These options are also on our website, which was addressed earlier, also on the app in the App Store, and on our weekly e-newsletter that goes out the first part of the week. So know that that's the case, and know that once again, it's all appreciated and put to great use, and in supporting the expense of the cost of doing business here as a community known as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. James is going to come on the audio and play for us our conscious giving song, Love Is My Decision, and I invite you to feel free to sing along, and sing along. And so that didn't work. So let's just all know together that as we take a moment to give, we will trust and know that the good is flowing by means of us, that love is indeed our decision, and that we are being made manifest in form as abundance. And so it is. So, sorry about that technical difficulty. As you've probably assumed by now, we've been doing our best to have James here with us today providing music, even though he has been unable to be here in person as he came down ill unexpectedly. And so Travis worked really diligently to piece together some music from the past to bring him in as if he were here today. And so thank you, Travis, for that. And we wanted to provide as much continuity as possible for our service. And let's affirm and know that James will be feeling better as life shows up through him and as him. And so let's all send peace and blessings to him on his way. Some reminders of what's going on throughout the week here. I'll let you know that there will be no meditation this week. I'm headed away for a few days on a personal break. And so there'll be no meditation on Wednesday morning. There will be a newsletter, and the daily text will continue to go out. So know that that's the case. But if you'd like to meditate on Wednesday without me, feel free to do so. You can find those meditations on our YouTube channel, and that information can all be accessed through our website, CSL-LA.org, as well as other things as well. We also want to send love to our beloved Lenore Edney as she and her family are processing the death of her brother. A big thank you to Travis for all he did to make it happen today. Thank you, Travis. You worked hard, and I know you've had a crazy weekend in general, and to put this on your plate at such a late date is a lot. And know that you're honored and appreciated and really acknowledged for the work that you've done. A big thank you to Robert Hensley, who is our our social media guru and administrative assistant, for keeping us live through everything. Thank you. A big thank you to all of you who joined us today. If you're here for the first time, welcome into our beloved community and our home. I'm excited to share with you all that we will be back in person on May 15th, and that we're going to do like we did before, an in-person service. So know that that's going to take place. There's going to be some announcements going out to all of you in regards to that. So please look forward to that. We're going to we'll send out announcements to you, so know that that's the case. And you'll hear about that this week or next week. But we'll be back in person on the 15th of May and the 15th of June, I believe it is. And that's where we're at. So I believe that concludes us for the day. And so without further ado, I think we're going to close. If you've joined us on Facebook, after our affirmative prayer meditation, we'll say goodbye to you. For those of you that are on Zoom, we'll stay online and say just a brief little hello to each other, and we'll go from there. And so Travis, you're getting shout outs from everybody because you did such a great job. So thank you. And James says he was glad to bring himself here. That's Travis typing that as James. So I thought you'd appreciate that. All right, so let's close knowing that seeds are planted to play, to pray, to slay, baby, to let joy out in a new way, to stand on the foundation of what was, ready to express and be that which is being called forth to be. That we live from a place of love, allowing the self-givingness of spirit to guide us through everything and everyone. We take this Maya Angelou quote from our text today, do the best you can until you know better, and then when you know better, do better. We let that be a guide to us as we move forward into having fun, enjoying life itself, and being a conscious participant in the co-creative process. We do each all indeed find personal self-empowerment as we open to a spiritual awakening, as the piñatas explode within us with good sparkling through us as the experiences of life. We remember that there is indeed a divine spark within us, and we let it guide us every step of the way. And we do it with a big smile on our face, because that's an outer expression of what's taking place inside, which is joy being made manifest. We let it be. We let it be. And we let it be. And so it is. Have a fabulous day, a fabulous week, and I will see you all next Sunday. Have a good one. Bye.